Ned Meat here from Clan Eelius again. So yeah, got a few more here to a few more 3 stars from the war before last. Yeah, so the next one I'm going to be showing you is well, actually, I think I'll do 2 here because they're both by Burto and they're both the same. They're both straight hog attacks. Yeah, so we'll go into these straight away. Yeah, I mean this is an interesting one. This was a cleanup attack. Someone else had attacked this base beforehand, and this base is actually quite an anti-go wipe. I wasn't actually expecting it when I watched the first person attack it, but you can see these little sort of S-shaped or C-shaped alleyways. The initial thinking is that you'll come in from one of those sides, but the golems actually go in there, and they become a bit of a trap because they get so separated from the wizards and the peckers and everything else coming in, and they get such a pounding in those little pockets there that that the one before this it failed quite quickly, surprisingly quickly actually. I did think it was going to do better than it did, but it really went down quick. So he chose the right force here by doing a full-on hog attack. You'll see when looking at the base that there's only in that very middle bit, which is quite obviously 3 of those are going to be Tesla. But basically, looking around the whole base, you can see there's actually no spaces at all inside the base for giant bombs. So they're all going to have to be on the outside somewhere, apart from just the one in the middle. So in that situation, it's a very, very easy base to use for straight hog. It's very vulnerable for straight hog. So cool. So let's just watch how Burto does this. So he lures using 1 hog, and actually that's quite useful. He's used 1 hog, but he's actually set off one of the big bombs as well. It's always good to do that when you're using hogs. If it is possible to find out where they are, then you can just literally just chuck 1 hog in to set off the big bombs. It's well worth doing. Okay, so he's now at the top there. Put his archers down to just kind of confuse the dragons a little bit. And he's now going to get his wizards down to sort of take out and finish off the dragon. He's being very precise here again to make sure the dragon's actually killed before he deploys his hogs. And the hogs then come in from 2 different locations. The clan castle hogs as well. He's still got 4 wizards and some wall breakers left over as well. You can see the positions of the heels there, very nicely positioned. It's covering the center of the base with the 3 really nicely. The hogs you can see he's just got loads and loads left, even though the Barb King is at them and hacking at them. Still absolutely no problem at all with making sure that that's going to all get taken out. He's dotted his wizards around just to finish off with the cleanup, but it's just absolutely no problem at this point. You can see with all those hogs now going to take out the Barb King, there's nothing left for them to defend. I'll fast forward it. Yeah, cool. So there's his force. So he's got 33 hogs, 10 wizards, 12 archers, the Barb King, and then wall breakers to help get in if he needs it. I think it is well worth, when doing a straight hog, it's well worth having 10 wizards and 12 archers to make sure you definitely kill the clan castle, because anything you don't use, you can always use on the cleanup anyway to help speed up the cleanup, just in case if some hogs have been taken out by big bombs or something like that. So still well worth doing that, I feel. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'll just quickly take you straight away to the other attack that he did, considering it is another straight hog 3-star. So if you look down at the composition, it's pretty much exactly the same as 1 wizard down, but he's got the extra couple of barbs in there. This base, again, looking at this base, you can see as well that it's not. There's definitely no major warnings for big bombs. What you can see is, if you look down there, you can see that there's two possible spaces there. Pretty much, obviously, the big bomb's going to be between the two defences. It's going to be between the cannon and the wizard tower, and then a Tesla will be just next to the wizard tower there. Pretty much the same situation here. The Tesla will be in that little box, and then the big bomb will be between the wizard tower and the Tesla. And again, up in here, you can see that will be where the big bomb will be, and then this is where the Tesla will be. So he has got the three big bombs within the walls of his base. But as long as the positioning of the heal spells is good enough, then it should be no problem at all to take this base out. Again, this one will be one of those. It's one of those slightly anti-dragon kind of designs. It's got the level 6 80s in the middle. You've got the moat all around the outside, which also doesn't help. But it also makes it hard to dragon. So again, it's a great choice of force to do the straight hog on this one. So there's the lure, simple lure. It's just dragon and balloon. Sending a barbarian in. That's what he got those for, because there's no real buildings on the outside to be able to lure out to, and he obviously wants to get it out to that location. Slightly difficult here. He's actually doing he's actually killing the clan castle troops whilst in range of fire. Putting the Barb King down meant that they're now taking the fire, so his wizards then have a clean run. But it's actually really good here, because you can see the Barb King on the outside as well. He's taken out... Oh, well, actually, no, not quite taken out the enemy Barb King there, but... Still, anyway. So he started his force attack. You can see that he's separated. He came on either side of that first giant bomb. And so the way that this is going so far, he's actually avoided 2 giant bombs, which he even had the heal spells over them, but even in that situation it's not even quite needed, because so just at the top here, and dealing with that last giant bomb there, you see that it has exploded, but all those hogs were under the heal at the time, so they've all come back up quite easily. A little bit more of the heal spell there. Well, it's actually almost not needed. You can see that we're in the final stages now, just the last few bits of defense. He didn't finish completely taking out the Barb King at the beginning, but you can actually see that it didn't really matter all that much. His Barb King, that enemy Barb King, is right down to 0 now, basically. And with the hogs and everything else on cleanup, it's just going to be no problem at all. Okay, so I'll speed that up. When you've got this many hogs left over at the end, the cleanup is always just so easy. They just it's just no problem. The final builder's hut at the bottom there. And there it is again, the second 3-star by Burto. So, yeah, so you can see that's then, he had 34 hogs in that one, 9 wizards, and then the archers and the barbs. But still, it's that same sort of balance of combo, of composition, which, works really well. Cool. So I'm going to be uploading a few more. I've actually uploaded about three or four wars of 3 stars at the moment. So do go to the channel and check them out, and leave some comments and likes and that sort of thing, and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more.